Shinedown, Rocky, and Rick Beato next on Music Surgery with Dr. Bob. I had the good fortune of getting a song on one of the most noted rock albums of the 2000s. The song was called Breaking Inside off of Shinedown's The Sound of Madness album. After my publisher Patrick Clifford's insistence that Shinedown's singer Brent Smith not take one step on the plane heading out of Nashville before riding with Bobby Huff, a right was set up for us and I began preparing an idea. I knew this was going to be a big record for Shinedown. Rob Cavallo, who had produced everything from Green Day to Phil Collins, was producing. So this told me this was going to be an album that was a big priority for Atlantic Records. So I took 2 days and prepared what I thought was a great melody and some sketched out words and a good demo track as something to kickstart off the writing session. Brent and I met at the studio and he was extremely nice and loved what I'd sketched out, and away we went. Here is what I brought to the session that day.
Okay, so coming back and listening to this, what I actually had for that day to present to him was a little rougher than I remember it being. Here, I have just a stereo mix of a couple guitars and a drum beat. And here, I'm roughly singing the melody and a few lyrics and whatever to get him inspired of a verse, a pre, and a chorus. So when Brent and I sat down in the studio, I said, I got a little something to play you, maybe a little seed to start us off with. This is what he heard.
Never tell what you know, but you're getting up and not ready. I never see what you want and won't mind me. You never said what you did, what you do, nothing, no matter. I don't want to be hard. Let's try to make up for wasting time. I don't wanna live for just another day. Wanna live the night, the night, the night, the night. But the man and the night only. I don't wanna live for just another day. Underneath the shadow of mistakes I made. Too many cheers too late. Too many cheers too late.
So that was it. He obviously liked a lot of the melody, and a lot of that melody is what you'll hear next in the demo that he sent that day and in the master that came out on the album. You can also hear that I'm not really singing any lyrics particularly, but there's a few lines that pop out that just sounded phonetically right with the melody that I sang. And he gravitated towards a few of those lines that I actually sang. Here, I had the title called Too Many Tears Too Late.
Too many cheers too late. Too many cheers too late.
Which did not excite him, which he didn't gravitate towards. In a lot of these sessions with artists, they have something to say in the way that they want to say it. And Brent definitely has a way of saying it that he wants to. In a lot of these sessions, I just sit back and maybe suggest lines or say, man, yeah, I love that, when they come up with a line that sounds great. I'm really there for support to help them say it the way that they want to say it as an artist. But nonetheless, I was thrilled that he gravitated towards the groove, the chord changes, and a lot of the melody. Okay, so that day, Brent sang all these vocals to the song. And I distinctly remember he sang in the control room behind me. We had the speakers off. We both had headphones on, and his voice was so powerful and so overwhelming that the sound waves of his voice were hitting me in the back. I could feel his vocal pounding me in the back when he sang. It was truly incredible. But before we get to these vocals, I built the track out to be a full demo, played some keyboards, made the drums bigger, and I hired my genius friend, Dale Oliver, to play guitar. To say that he was a huge part of this song is an understatement. One thing about this song that always struck me was the intro. I really feel we nailed an intro that draws you into the song. Let me play you this keyboard pad that I played. I can't remember what it was. It was something in Atmosphere, which is now called Omnisphere. And my friend Dale Oliver played this acoustic part and these 12-string rakes. And here's how it went. Now, on the Shinedown record, what you hear on the master is this wave and these acoustic guitars. Rob Cavallo called me and asked for these specific parts and paid us double scale for these parts to be on the record, which was a thrill and an honor. Also, what he paid for was my son Robbie playing these swells in the back half. Let me turn them up a bit. Another thing I want to point out is my friend Dale Oliver as well played an amazing guitar solo. And when they got to the studio, the guy that played the solo on the song is Tim Pierce, one of the greatest studio guitar players, rock guitar players, and now awesome YouTuber as well. Heard the solo and said, I just want to copy that. Now, Tim could have played any number of amazing solos on the spot that would have been keepers the first take. That's the kind of musician he is. But let me play you the solo that Dale played on the demo that Tim copied. So, a huge thanks again to Dale for playing something so incredible, and Tim for being the kind of guy he is to just say, that's awesome. Why would I want to change it? Now, let me unmute these vocals and play you through the first chorus. And this is what Brent sang that day. And this is what the label heard and Rob Cavallo and got me the cut.
I caught a chill and it's still frozen on my skin. I think about why I'm alone by myself, no one else to explain. How far do I go? No one knows. If the end is so much better, why don't we just live forever? Don't tell me I'm the last one in line. Don't tell me I'm too late this time. I don't wanna live to waste another day underneath the shadow of mistakes
And that's how it went. That's the demo. That's the demo vocal. That's me, my friend Dale, and my son Robbie rocking out Shinedown style.
Every writer knows it's a huge victory to get a song on any album, but to get one on The Sound of Madness was incredible. Now, the next hope for any writer is to get the single on the radio, because that's where the serious money is made. The first single off The Sound of Madness was Devour, which did well at rock radio, but then came the second single, Second Chance, which blew up on multiple formats and became a giant smash. After that, my song Breaking Inside was a contender for the next single, then the next single, and then the next single, until we finally got the news, congratulations, it's coming out as the new single. My publisher, my wife, and I celebrated and waited for the release date until Rocky delivered the knockout punch. Shinedown was asked to deliver a song in the new Sylvester Stallone movie, The Expendables, but the only way Sylvester Stallone would accept the song, Diamond Eyes, is of course if the record company pushed it as a single to radio. And just like that, Breaking Inside and my hopes for a big single were taken down like Apollo Creed. It was a huge disappointment, but nonetheless, I was still grateful to be on the album and was completely blindsided as to what came next. Sipping my morning coffee and navigating my way through YouTube one morning, about 2 years ago, I stumbled on a channel by a guy named Rick Beato. I watched one video, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next, and couldn't believe how much this guy knew about music. He knew more about music than anyone I'd ever met, and more about different topics of music than anyone I'd ever met, from Bach to Metallica. Somehow the name Rick Beato was in my past, although I knew we'd never met. I Googled his name and found out that we both had songs on, you guessed it, Shinedown albums. So I called Shinedown's A&R man and got Rick's phone number, and out of the blue I called him and he actually picked up. I told him how much I loved his channel and I was an instant fan, and that if he was ever in Nashville to give me a shout. A few months later he called and said, hey man, I'm in Nashville for Summer NAMM, do you want to get together? I was actually at a studio about half a mile from his hotel, and he came by and we talked for 3 hours. After the conversation we both felt like we knew each other for years, and he said to me like another knockout punch by Rocky, you're going to be a YouTuber, you need to make videos. He was so convincing that it really messed me up. After talking with my wife about it, asking Rick a million questions, studying lighting and editing, investing in video equipment, and sending him a draft of my first video ever, which he kindly told me basically sucked, here I am in an incredible community of music makers online. Doctors, as you well know, are privileged and wealthy, and I need you to subscribe and ring the bell to keep me in that lifestyle that my wife, my kids, my ex-wives, and my girlfriend are all accustomed to. Thanks, and thanks for watching Music Surgery with Dr. Bob. Life is strange and curvy and wonderful and hurts sometimes. Little did I know that preparing a song idea years ago would take me on this crazy ride of ups and downs, stupid fun, a few shots to the gut, new friends, new opportunities, great stories, and I can tell everyone I'm a doctor now. Life isn't always how you plan it, but when I look back, I find the more I let go of my plans and enjoy the ride, the sweeter life gets. Thanks Shinedown, Rocky, and Rick for a ride that I'll never forget. And I'll see you the next time the doctor's in.